All right, media, thank you for joining. We're going to get started with John W. Davis with Winsider.
First of all, Coach, I want to wish you a happy Father's Day. I know that this is an important day for somebody like you. And then second of all,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem. And then second of all, what is your earliest memory of the WNBA, being that this is the 25th anniversary? I suppose you were in college at that time. Is that right? When it first started?
No, that day would have been. We got eliminated in the second round of the playoffs, so that would have been the first offseason of after my rookie year. So I was probably back in Little Rock, uh, after my first season. Not sure if I watched live that day, um, but once I got back to LA and later that off season and the Sparks were now kind of part of um, the LA calendar, LA sports calendar. Um, just definitely started to pay more attention to just where the team was headed. And really wasn't spending time in LA in the off season at that point. The first 2 or 3 years, I would just immediately go back home. So I didn't really get to see the Sparks play those first few years until around 2000 is when I started going to games myself. And but just to think about the history of this league and where it is only 25 years into its existence, it's amazing. And there's a lot more that we have to do, but feel fortunate to be here today, 25 years later.
Do you have any memories experiencing the WNBA with your family and your children?
Yeah, I mean, my first child was born in '02, and then '06. So we started attending when I came back to LA in '07, '08. We would attend some games in the summer and the off season. Um, and I mean, my memories have just always been that the experience at a WNBA game is, um, so much more of a fun and family experience. It's about more than the product of what's happening on the court. Um, I think all the teams are working significantly harder to entertain and engage, the fans that are in the building. And so, my fondest memories are, in 2000, 2001, 2002, when we won three championships. The Sparks were winning titles in '01 and '02 at the same time. And the way both teams' success changed the history of this city. Um, to me, that's what officially started to make LA a sports town, outside of just the history of the Lakers in the '80s and the Dodgers, um, the Lakers being back on the map, and the Sparks starting to win titles. I just remember that being a great time for LA. Brought a lot of people together for good.
Thank, thank you, John. We'll go to Kahari Jones Jr. with the LA Sentinel.
Hey, what's going on, Coach?
Right.
I just wanted to just piggyback off that question. Just how does it feel for you? You've been a part of so much history in LA with the Sparks, the Lakers. You just mentioned how it changed the history of the city. Just is it something that how are you taking that in right now? Just being part of history today.
Yeah, no, just thankful. Really thankful. I think especially the day after um, you know, Juneteenth being celebrated for the first time in what felt like a national way, and now that it is officially a federal holiday. Uh, Thinking about how blessed and fortunate I am to be in this position to be a head coach and general manager of a major pro sports team in the WNBA. Um, People that look like me still are having a hard time finding these opportunities, but for sure over the last 150 plus years, this is rare. And so when I think about the history of our country, I think about the history of this league. Um, I'm very, very thankful to be here and try to bring, an attitude of being grateful and humble in this as much as I possibly can. And want to keep trying to do as much as possible to grow this league and help our team.
Time for two more. We'll go to Eric Lampkins, the second with the Culver City Observer.
Coach, happy Father's Day. Just reflecting on your late friend Kobe Bryant and how he became an ambassador for the women's game. I was wondering, how are you reflecting on conversations today with how the game can grow, and what are your thoughts in terms of where else this game can grow in terms of improving its global cachet?
Yeah, I mean, I think what comes to mind the most is how, as a father, especially on Father's Day, with, just the combination of things that we're celebrating today, how the impact of Kobe's decisions were so heavily influenced by the way they would impact his daughters. And some of the conversations we had around just that, almost everything that he began doing, working on, building, creating, was to change the world for the better for his daughters and for his girls. And so, when I think about that, and then when I, as I'm processing my decision making and I'm processing, how to do this job to the fullest, it's with that in mind. Is how do we continue to grow this game, celebrate it, invest in our teams, invest in these women, and we just have to do better. We just really do. We've been conditioned to see this as inferior to other sports products, and we just have to change that mental conditioning that we've all been, given. And it doesn't mean that's wrong to watch other sports, and we celebrate other sports more. We invest in them. We spend money in them. Where there's more sponsorship dollars. We watch it more on TV. We just do more, for men's sports. And I just think we have to make a decision that, as a society, as a community, we have to end up on the right side of history. That, whether as a father of daughters or all of us having a mother at some point, or we wouldn't even be here, or we have sisters, or we have aunts, or we have a woman that's a neighbor of ours that has impacted our lives, or a female teacher that impacted our lives. Like, the world is better when we look out for women, and it's just that simple. And so we have to figure out a way to do more and better, specifically related to these front-facing opportunities in sports with women, because it's on television and it's visual, so it can have more impact on young girls than right now maybe what other things can have, because young girls can see it, like they can visually see powerful women doing great things on TV. But if we don't show it on TV, and we don't make sure that people know when to watch it, where to watch it, it's easy to watch it, then we're just not doing as much as we should be doing. So I'll stop there for now.
Last question for pregame. We'll go to Ethan Sands with the LA Times.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good, Ethan, how are you?
Doing well, thank you. So what does it mean to have tickets sold out tonight and the growing support of the WNBA across the country?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're thankful, here in LA, just to have fans back in the building at any capacity, but especially, while we're here at the convention center, to be able to have it packed out today. I think it continues to show that there's a passion and a desire to see the WNBA, to be a part of it. Obviously many families have been, stuck in our homes for several months, year and a half or so. And So it's great to just get out, and we're thankful that many people are choosing to come out today and be here with us, and and celebrate a really special day for a lot of reasons. But we just have to keep doing more and keep pushing more for what's right. And I think there are more cities, more communities, social media's impact, and our players, like the talent of the players in this league. Um, you know, as many negative things as we like to throw onto social media sometimes, there's a lot of positive to the way people are able to follow our players now compared to the way they used to. So a lot of great things. I think the league office is working really hard to grow the game on the global stage, and we just have to keep doing the work.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.